what we learned from midterms as LGBTQ plus America now holds its breath until November 8th. Yesterday's primaries here in Florida had highs and lows for the LGBTQ plus community. Allies like Nikki and Charlie Crist both did well in their primary for gubernatorial candidate, as a gubernatorial candidate, while Crist took the nomination. Florida Department of Health COVID whistleblower and ally Rebekah Jones won the primary in Florida's 1st District, where she will face off against alleged groomer and sex trafficker Matt Gaetz. While openly gay friend of the network, Todd Delmay, did not win in his district, it was won by an LGBTQ advocate, Hillary Cassel. Shevrin Jones also won the primary for his 2nd term as state senator. In Flagler County, anti-LGBTQ plus school board member Jill Woolbright lost her seat to moderate Sally Hunt. In New York, there was a special general election for New York House District 19 that became a hot point for abortion rights and equality, probably the most visible in America, and voters elected Pat Ryan, the Democratic contender. Jerry Nadler, the co-founder of the U.S. House LGBTQ Equality Caucus, also won his primary. New York also saw the defeat, unfortunately, of openly gay incumbent Matt Jones, who was defeated by Dan Goldman, the multimillionaire who is heir of the Levi Strauss company. And Jones was the first black LGBT House member ever elected. Highs, mostly lows yesterday. The most significant statistic of the winners and losers was us. We are the most significant losers because the turnout was incredibly small. I have read some initial reports that the midterm turnout, which is always low anyway, is lower than it was in 2018. We'll see in the next couple of days. But if the LGBTQ community does not rally between now and November 8th, we are definitely going to be holding our breath in terms of what happens to the Senate, what happens to the House, what happens to the governor's seat, what happens to a Senate seat, all vital for LGBT rights.
I'm bummed that our friend Delmay didn't win this election. I have a feeling he'll be back though.
600 votes. You
What?
have to wonder.
What?
There wasn't 600 votes in Hollywood, LGBT. You
That's
have to
heartbreaking.
wonder.
How about the rest of this, boys? Like, what's next? Like, now we all rally behind Mr. Charlie Crist and
Yes, we did.
and make that happen.
And Val
so we can,
Demings.
and Val Demings won. I mean, Val Demings is an incredible human.
And a quick soundbite, Val Demings comes to Stonewall Pride, gets on the main stage, does a firebrand speech to say the LGBTQ community is important. And the current senator, Marco Rubio, never steps foot in the LGBT-centric community. Charlie Crist has been governor, he changes party, and he basically initiates an LGBT manifesto of what he's going to do in Florida for LGBTQ community. Against Ron DeSantis, both seats are no-brainers. They're no-brainers. Find a reason why you would vote against Charlie Crist or you would vote against Val Demings. That's the outcome between now and November 8th. The only question remaining is, are we going to care and do we go to the poll?
Can I make, since we're on such downers, I'm going to bring a bright point of light from last night's election. I know we're generally focusing on LGBTQ candidates, but since the Dobbs decision overturning Roe versus Wade came down, there have been, I think, 8 special elections for House seats, 4 of which I think were last night. Every candidate, every Democrat has overperformed what Joe Biden did 4 years ago, and they were underperforming in specials before this election, which means Democrats are getting motivated. We just have to bring it and translate it into the November election, because there is excitement there for people, and Biden, and they're overperforming.
Are you a superstitious person?
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
I am a little stitious. I am superstitious, and so superstitious that you even mentioning something good scares me.
Well, I mean,
Because I heard 4 people go, oh, I don't need to vote then.
exactly. That's what I was. That's exactly what's happening in my
No.
brain. I was like, now that you
Really?
said that,
No.
people will now sit on their butts.
November
Yeah.
8th. November 9th, we've all got to commit to being on Queer News Tonight on Wednesday, November 9th, and we are all going to blame John.
We're all going to blame you.
Sounds fair.
All right? Just so you know.
That's not it. Everyone want everyone at his door.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.